Hello and welcome to the League of Legends Strategy Guide. Since we already discussed all the lanes, roles, and objectives, I thought we should switch gears and start talking about the individual champions. However, unlike the champion spotlights, we'll be focusing more on the tactics and the off-meta builds. Remember, the main goal is to have fun. This week, we are focusing on the poisonous pest of the Rift, the champion everyone loves to hate, Teemo. Teemo is the swift scout of the Yordles of Bandle City, a soldier that specializes in guerrilla warfare and stealth. His kit revolves around hit-and-run tactics, laying traps and watching his prey suffer before securing the kill. He is mostly played in the top lane as a hybrid damager, but because his kit and damage are so versatile, you can pretty much play him in any lane as any role. Attack damage marksman Teemo, ability power mid lane Teemo, hell, even tanky support Teemo works. His passive, Guerrilla Warfare. As long as he stands completely still for 1.5 seconds, Teemo becomes invisible, and attacking, moving, or being displaced will break the stealth. However, if he is in brush, he can gain stealth after 0.75 seconds and may move around freely so long as he remains in the brush. When he breaks stealth, he gains the element of surprise, gaining bonus attack speed for 3 seconds. This is an absolute wrecker of faces. The main goal is to hide and ambush the enemy laner. Once out of stealth, his attack speed drastically increases and can shred an enemy down in seconds. Teemo's Q is Blinding Dart. It's a point-and-click ability that shoots out a dart at a targeted enemy, dealing scaling magic damage and blinding them for a short time. Because the ability is point-and-click, it is incredibly hard to dodge. The magic damage can whittle an opponent to death, and blinding is still a very broken mechanic. Blinding causes the next auto attacks to deal 100% reduced damage, for as long as the debuff's duration. If you're a melee champion and you get blinded, you should just run. You're not going to win the trade and you're probably just going to die. His W is Move Quick. Passively, Teemo gains bonus movement speed for as long as he hasn't taken any damage from champions or turrets. If he activates the ability, his movement speed bonus doubles for 3 seconds. This is what makes him such a slippery pain in the ass. He can just run away from anything that's thrown at him. Teemo's E is his Toxic Shot. It passively coats his basic attacks with a deadly poison, dealing magic damage and damaging opponents over time. This is his damaging bread and butter. As his auto attacks can take away your health, the most devilish Teemos will also run with a summoner spell Ignite, which will also put another damage over time effect, which will slowly kill you as Teemo walks away. Finally, his ult, the most frustrating thing in the entire game, his Noxious Trap. Teemo tosses a mushroom onto the ground, which turns invisible and gains sight for Teemo's team. If an enemy steps on the shroom, it'll explode, poisoning all nearby enemies, slowing them and dealing a ton of magic damage over time. The traps work on an ammo system, and he can hold up to 3 at a time. However, they last 5 minutes each, so the map could be littered with shrooms and the enemy team wouldn't know. If Teemo throws a mushroom on top of another one, it'll bounce, going forward in the targeted direction. This can be used to throw a trap onto an enemy, slowing them and keeping them in range for attacks. When playing Teemo in any lane, try keeping your shrooms in advantageous areas, preventing ganks and gaining vision. As a top lane or a mid lane champion, Teemo can chunk down an enemy and kite away, attacking and moving constantly. I typically build a Nash's Tooth and a Lysandre's Torment. This, with a Crystal Scepter, can slow enemies down and keeps your damage type varied, making it harder to build against. As a support, it's about the Q and the ult. Blinding the enemy AD carry can make or break a team fight. If the heaviest hitter can't hit, they're useless, and your shrooms are great for warding objectives like Dragon and preventing ganks. I typically play with the Spell Thief's Edge because the range on his Q is ridiculous and will build more tanky items like a Thornmail or a Frozen Heart. As a support, you don't want to take the kills and your poisons can easily do that. So instead, I build closer to tank Teemo, as people's innate hatred for Teemo will cause them to focus in hard. I also don't put any points towards his E until the late game, as the poison may take kills away from the actual carry. It really doesn't matter where you take the Tiny Terror, as long as you spam the laugh emote the entire way. Thanks for tuning into the League of Legends Strategy Guide. We'll see you next time.